Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akim. It's your brother Za'ala from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, when they give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect, man. It's a quick one, man. I saw this abominable photo here showing you why the nigger woman, man, these Negro women, are straight up the number one enemy, associated with the devil, so-called white man, biblically known as the Edomites, and they're always playing the devil's advocate, advocating for anything evil that the devil permits in the society, man. And they're one and the same, basically, against the Israelite man, the number one enemies, man. General and lieutenant, chief of staff, and lower member of staff, infidel, basically, the nigger woman that she is. I just saw this abominable photo here for Sister Serena Williams, crip walked for the culture, but then she went home to this guy, which is supposed to be her supposed husband, Amalekite, straight up small hat rat. And this is who she had decided to have kids with and bring forth his seed, man, which is basically bringing forth the seed of the devil into this world, so-called white people. You're bringing in tears, man, instead of the wheat. You're bringing in tears, to multiply the devil's seed instead of your own, Out of all the men on the earth you could have chosen, man, you got 12 different tribes of men. And she decided to go and sleep with the enemy, the number one enemy of the Israelite man, which is the so-called white man. And not just any white man, but in particular, but an Amalekite. And decided to spawn his seed, man. The devil's seed, Damien, from the Exorcist movie. She decided to spawn Damien with the 666 on the forehead or the back of the head. No, inside joke. But yeah, she spawned the seed of the devil, man. But this is who she was lusting after. This is who she was thinking about when she was playing tennis for all them years as a little girl. She wanted to get with the so-called white man. And that just shows you that the nigger woman is nothing but an enemy of the Israelite man. This is another example of that, man. And this is why, like the apostles and elders of great most on stay, another reason why you got to stay away from these hyenas, these garden tools, man, because these women ain't right in the head, especially when it starts from the Negro woman. She ain't right in the head, man. She's just as lost in the source as this devil is, when it comes to understanding. And the Lord deprived these women of wisdom and understanding. Anyway, it tells you that in Job, the 39th chapter, around the 15th verse, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is just a quick one, man. Not even to harp on it for too long, but you women are in big trouble, man. You're going to be in big doo-doo in these last days, man, because you holding on to this so-called white man playing as the devil's advocate is going to be to your shame. Just like how the pitfalls of this society's, the shame of the glory is being revealed of this devil and his wicked ass history and how he conquered the earth. Shame's coming to you women too, man, because you've been advocating for this devil ever since the slave trade, man. Ever since he made you a bed wench, a housewife and all of that. You bitches been advocating for the devil against the Israelite man. Divide and conquer. That goes back to the curses written of in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, from the 15th verse down on down. It tells you about the wife's eye shall be evil towards her husband. Meaning the nigger woman her eye should be evil towards her husband, man. Because Esau will come in and separate the household and divide and conquer, basically, that Jim Crow, Willie Lynch type shit, man, that these devils conspire to do, which has definitely worked. And now the Israelite woman is totally against the Israelite man. But this is why we say, especially here at Great Millstone, we don't need you black women to reprocreate and bring forth back the seed, because the man carries the seed. We're the prize, not you women. So we can sleep with any other nation, women, or even other tribes, and bring forth back the seed of an Israelite man and woman on the earth. We don't need you Evites out here, man, because you Evites are the spawn of Satan right now. It tells you that in Timothy that some will turn aside after the spiritual demon Satan. So this is definitely an example of that. This is disgusting, man. Like, what would you attract? Why would you even be attracted to this devil right here, this leprous dog? Other than the fact it's hypergamous reasons, or whatever, because he's probably got money and he's well off. Basically, he's got that he's got that good wealth gap, generational wealth. That's the only reason why. And power, basically, because these devils are in the rulership seat right now, as the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. But it just shows you the mindset of our women, man. They're just easily led, misled, and destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And here you go from the famous scene of her crip walking at the last Super Bowl event with Kendrick Lamar. And she blonded out her hair. That's a form of leprosy in her head. Showing you, and then she bleached her skin as well, like cake soap. Showing you that these nigger women, man, they adorn the white woman, man. They want to be like the so-called white woman, be dark as all hell, but got a stupid ass blonde wig on their head, or putting extensions with blonde highlights and shit in their head, man, and then wear blue-eyed contacts and shit like that, and put cake soap on their skin to make themselves look as light and bleached as possible, man. This is abominable, man. This is why the Lord is going to destroy 2/3 of our people, especially these women. This abominable act that she did over there, crip walking like a fucking adolescent, lost in the sauce, man. White in the eyes of all the world, for the whole world to see her crip walking like a adolescent, degenerate Negro, man. Basically a minstrel show for the so-called white man. And the Super Bowl cohorts and all that, man. Madness, man. But this is our people. This is the mindset of our people. Like it tells you in the book of Psalms, the desire of, the wicked of our people. The oppressors desire a song of us, The desire of a song, roughly paraphrasing. So our people dance to that shit, man. They become a minstrel show for the so-called white man. Look at her, man. Beast. She's a beast, man. Even like when she was playing tennis and all that, she had that brute beast, manly type mentality. She was very masculine, man. Look at her, man. Broad shoulders, clamorous, widen up at the mouth, evil eyes. And this is when she was in her prime, so to speak, I guess, playing tennis. She's a straight up demon, man. And then here you go, you got the one of the Hellraisers, Michelle Obama, which we're still in, if it's still in confusion whether this is an actual man or a woman. That conversation's still on the table, so to speak, whether this is an actual man or a woman, man. Because Obama, he likes to play both sides of the field. So they're saying that this guy, his so-called wife Michelle Obama is really his or her aim was really Michael in his past life. His name's Michael, and he changed his name to Michelle and did all kinds of, malfunctions to the body. But you can see how beastly and greasy these nigger women are. This is the spirit of Eve right here. If she is a nigger woman, she's just ferocious, man. She's heartless. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, man. Look at the countenance of this woman, man. She's evil as all hell. So imagine if she was a woman scorned, man. She'd be plotting and, devising mischief against her husband, finding ways to get him out of there, or even get him killed. Because basically the reason why a lot of men are in the prison system today is behind them fighting for these wicked ass women, these evil ass heifers out here, especially the Negro woman, man. These gang related fights and situations. Did you just have a situation in Chicago the other day? Some female trap rapper, another degenerate, basically got her boyfriend, her best friend, two of her best friends, her boyfriend and her older brother got taken out of the picture, man, got deleted off the back of her, man. Probably her running her mouth. She was the main one that they wanted to get to basically to send the hit out for, and they ended up whacking four of her flipping closest, basically, man, her family members, her boyfriend and two of her friends. All because they wanted to take out the nigger woman, man, because this is her attitude and how she deals with the Israelite man. So they wanted to take her head off her damn shoulders, man, for whatever reason. What you women got to do with gang life anyway, man? You women ain't supposed to be in no damn gangs, you know, trying to be trap rappers and all of that shit. You know, this is madness, man. But this is our people, man. It's too much wickedness going on. Anyway, let's go straight to the scriptures, man. The nigger woman is the number one enemy, man. For you Israelite men out there that still think the nigger woman is, righteous and out here and, so-called modest and decent, you got another thing coming, man, in these last days. You're gonna see the light when all hell breaks loose, especially when them death angels is out here massacring our people, man. This is Micah 7:10. So it says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Yeah, so these women are always doubting the power of the Lord of our power, man. They're always doubting the miraculous works of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Same thing with Job's wife, man. Job was catching all types of hell, losing family members, losing wealth, losing, money, monetary gain, losing friends, so on and so forth, left, right, and center. And these women, what did these women say? He had boils all over his body. And what did these women say? Curse the Most High and die. Now, that's a woman with no faith, man. These women don't have no faith. That even goes back into the word female or femina, in the Latin, which means without faith. So they're always doubting the power of the Lord, and it comes especially to deliverance, man. They just start, thinking carnally, because they're the weaker vessel. It says, where's the Lord thy power? It says, mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire in the streets. And that's going to be happening a lot in these last days. A lot of these women out here, they're going to get taken out of the picture, out of the frame. Pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4, I might as well read that real quick. Because these death angels are going to be targeting a lot of these women in these last days. Because these women ain't right, man. The vision of slaughter. The vision of slaughter, that's what's coming, man. Time of Jacob's trouble is going to be the slaughter of the children of Israel. Mainly if you do the 2/3. It says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon all the princes of Israel. In this, Ezekiel 21, verse 12. You start from verse 9 on down, man. But it tells you that terrors by reason of the sword is going to be upon all the princes of Israel. So the vision of destruction and terror is coming upon 2/3 in the time of Jacob's trouble. The Lord's going to, pinpoint these wicked ass jakes out here and delete them off the face of the earth, basically. So they can come back in the kingdom as newborn babies, literally, in the physical. It's Ezekiel 9:4. And the Lord said unto him, which is the angel, go through the midst of the city, which Israel is a people before it's a place, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark, this is a spiritual mark, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And the men that are getting that mark, that spiritual mark, which means da'wah in the Hebrew, exemption from judgment, are starting from the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, the ones that are sighing and crying out there week in and week out, despising and hating the discourse of the wicked, just like in the spirit of Lot. He was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. And that's the mindset, that's the spirit, that's the true man of the Lord, the prophet of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai is supposed to be in. You're not supposed to be wanting to be PC and world friendly and all that. Be a world friendly Israelite and all that shit, man. Trying to conform to the ways of this world. The Lord said, be not conformed, but be transformed in the renewing of your mind. You're supposed to be against this system, not for it. But you got even Israelites in this truth movement of ours that are seeking the approval of their enemy so they can look PC in front of the world audience, man. Like your IUICs and the ISUPKs, the Genesis, Genesis Israelites, they want to be PC and make themselves look like they're world friendly and shit, which is against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's will. Because he said that anyone that's a friend of the world, he's going to destroy them, and you're an enemy of the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So them guys ain't in the right spirit, man. They want the worldly accolades and be men of reputation. Man of reputation. When the scripture says when Yahweh Shai was on the scene in Peter's, or was it Hebrews? It said he was a man of no reputation. You know, he wasn't seeking the approval of the world. He was out there to do his Father's will, and that was to, basically redeem the elect. So, if you're in the true spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, like it tells in Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression will make a wise man mad. You emulate that spirit in the earth, man, especially when you're prophesying. Fuck all that PC shit, man. Smooth words and all of that, man. Or getting a 501c3 charter with the government. Don't make no fucking sense. But anyway, this is only for the elect, that spiritual mark. The rest of the 2/3, they're going to take that physical mark, which is a biometric implant they're going to put underneath your skin. A wearable device, which is going to be put underneath your skin. It's going to be from wearables like JFK, RFK, however you say that guy, Kennedy is saying. It's going to go from the wearable device to actually putting the implant underneath your skin or in your forehead. And more of these modern day movies, I just watched that new movie, Megan 2.0. They show you, man, people are getting brain implants. They call it the neuro chip. Just like the Neuralink that Elon Musk has. They called it the neuro chip, and people was getting implants in their damn heads. In the back of their necks and shit like that. So this is the time that we're coming into, the implementation of the mark of the beast system. But only the elect are going to resist even unto death. It says, and the others, he said in mine hearing. It says, go ye after him through the city and smite. So the others that the Lord's rejected, because the Lord's only coming to deliver the elect. And that includes men, women, and children. That's part of the 1/3. The others that in the Lord's hearing, because he said 2 parts shall be cut off and died. To 2/3, the Lord said, go through and smite. It's an old English word meaning to kill. So the angels are going to be out here killing 2/3 of our people, and that could be by way of the so-called white man, because his blessing is of the sword, and he's going to bring terror upon the 12 tribes, especially with these ICE raids and immigrant situations going on right now. Esau's going to be a terror unto Jacob in these last days, going from King Trump on down, aka Nero. And he's going to be persecuting the tribes in the time of Jacob's trouble, even unto their death. Because part of the New World Order is depopulation as well. Maintain humanity under a certain amount of population. In the millions, basically, from billions to millions. So they're going to eradicate and delete a lot of people on the earth, especially you tribes, man. Mainly over there in America. So this is go ye after him through the city and smite, kill. Let not your eyes spare, and neither have ye pity. Yeah, so the Lord's not going to have pity upon the 2/3, man. And that includes you men, women, and children. You degenerates out there, you undesirables, man. And so a lot of women are going to get slaughtered out here. To slay utterly old and young. Both maids, which are who? Young women, it says, and little children. Yeah, these little rugrats running around out here, these little gremlins. The Lord said, take these little rugrats out, man. It says, and women as well, older women. So young women and older women are going to get slaughtered in these last days. Women that are like in the mindset of this heifer right here, Serena, the demon Williams, man. They want to be an advocate for the devil. They're going to get wiped off the face of the earth. They're going to get wiped out because we don't need this degenerate, we don't need the nigger woman. We need the Israelite woman, of the tribes. We don't need the nigger woman and that nigger woman mindset, We don't need this. This is not going to make it into the kingdom. Women with blonde hair wigs and blonde extensions and blue eye contacts and shit like that. That's not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven. That's what you call a Negro woman, man. That's not an Israelite woman. She's the enemy. So they're not going to make it. So slay utterly old and young, both males and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. Yes, so anyone that has that spiritual mark has an exemption from judgment. The brother just had a dream recently of having an actual time of Jacob's trouble and the angels coming through testimonial, basically. If you can go on GMS Testimonials channel and you see it. One of the latest testimonies from the brothers from GMS. And he basically said that he saw chariots hitting people with a wappo zappo and zapping them out of, into thin air, basically. And then the angels, the death angels, were going through the area that he was at, where he was hiding, and they were slaughtering the people. And then they saw him and they left him alone and basically walked past him and went on to slaughter on the rest of the people out there. Then he ended up like, how he Will Smith was an I Am Legend. He was just a man on his own in the midst of a major city, and everyone just disappeared because they got hit by the UFOs, so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel. The angels zapping people with the Wapo Zappo, man, with the laser beams and getting them out of there in the time of judgment, man. So that's going to be happening. So come not near any man who upon whom is the mark. So he had that spiritual mark, the mark of exemption from judgment. That's why the angels didn't hurt him, This Lord said, hurt not the oil and all of that. That's the men of the Lord, basically. The men that are pushing his word and his truth. It says, and began at my sanctuary. Yes, it's going to start from the leadership. That's why you got all these false leaders, famed talkers of this word, man. They're going to be caught out there. Any guy that's teaching contrary to what Great Millstone is teaching, especially regarding these last major prophecies, the MOT to the B, bringing the C hip and all of that, you're teaching anything other than that, you're going to be caught out there and you're going to be persecuted and put to death because you're teaching lies, man. You're you're scattering the Lord's sheep, basically. It says, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Yes, the judgment must begin at the ancient men of the house. Meaning was these false leaders of these different schools, man. Different leaderships, man, in Israel that are teaching lies, not teaching the whole truth. So this is the time that we're coming into, man. The Lord's going to get 2/3 of our people, especially these heifers out here. Especially women like this, man. The Serena Demon Williams. And, women that's in her mindset, the mind state. Basically, she's just like a modern day Greek. She wants to, follow the way of the Greeks. She went from being a dark-skinned woman to bleaching up her skin to look like a so-called white woman. And wearing that stupid blonde hair wigs that she keeps wearing on her damn head. Because she wants to be like the so-called white man. She wants to be like the enemy. So the Lord said, they that are joined hand in hand, they shall be cut off. They're going to be destroyed, man. So anyway, that's the quick one. I just wanted to do a quick hit. Saw this abominable photo. And Spirit just led me to do this, man. I had to speak on it, man, because this is just wild. Like, what would attract you to this plastic looking, fake ass Cesare Borgia looking ass demon? Like that's something to be attracted to. That they looks like Mr. Blobby first and foremost, but not even just that. He's an Edomite, man. He's the seed of Satan, the seed of the devil. So why would you even be attracted to that, other than the fact that these devils are in the power seat right now? That's why. And then you want to spawn his seed. Damn, man. That's why the nigga woman's the number one enemy. Joint hand in hand with the devil, man. The devil's advocate. So anyway, with that, I want to close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.